Welcome to the Dallas, Oregon podcast, your quick and informative source for what's happening in and around our city. I'm Charlie Mitchell, the city's Economic and Community Development Director, and each week we bring in city staff, local leaders, and community members to talk about the projects, people, and possibilities shaping Dallas. Today we have Jake Dyer, our Assistant Public Works Director. He's here to talk about water and water conservation. Welcome, Jake.
Thanks for having me, Charlie.
So, Jake, water conservation and water storage have been a big topic for the city of Dallas. And luckily, today we have Jake here to talk about all of the frequently asked questions and maybe help dispel some rumors that people have. But first, let's learn a little bit more about our water. Jake, start from the beginning. Tell us where our water comes from here in Dallas.
Yeah, Charlie. So our water supply is known as a surface water supply as opposed to groundwater supply. So surface water are things like reservoirs, lakes, rivers, streams, opposed to groundwater, which would be wells. Our raw water supply comes from the Rick Riel watershed. In the Rick Riel watershed, at the very top is Laurel Mountain. Laurel Mountain is known to be the wettest spot in Oregon. The watershed, the Rick Riel watershed that drains to the reservoir above the dam is roughly 17 square miles. And from there, we store the water and release it down the Rick Riel Creek. About 6 miles down the dam, down from the dam is our intake station. We pump the water from our intake station up to the water treatment plant. And from there, we treat the water, make it safe to drink, and send it to our customers in town.
There you go, from beginning to end. I love it. So, Jake, does the Rick Riel Creek serve only Dallas residents?
So the city of Dallas is the largest water rights holder for the Rick Riel Creek, and we are the only municipality or water district that uses the water on Rick Riel Creek. There are other water rights holders, residents, landowners, farmers, but the city of Dallas is the only water user.
Okay, great. Now, I know as of right now, Dallas has 2 water storage tanks. Are there plans to build another one to increase our water storage?
Yeah, there is. And actually, we have 2 finished water storage tanks in town, but we also have a 2 million gallon finished water storage tank at our treatment plant that serves the reservoirs in town as well as another portion of town. But we are currently in the design phase of building a new 4 million gallon concrete tank that will be up on James Howe Road. Um, so that'll add to the 8 million gallons of finished water storage that we currently have.
And when do we expect that to come online?
Well, like I said, we're in the design phases of that now. We're hoping to have the design wrapped up by the end of 2027, and we're currently working on funding for that project. So
Okay.
hopefully within the next couple of years.
And when that's constructed and completed, what impact will that have on Dallas residents?
Well, that finished water reservoir it'll help in our daily supply needs. It'll help for emergency supply needs as well as firefighting supply. It doesn't get us more water. So we are also working on new raw water storage.
We'll talk about that in a minute. All right,
Okay.
we'll get there. I think we're going to get there. But thank you for that update on
betcha.
the new water storage. Let's talk a little bit about some questions that we often get. So Dallas is growing and more homes are being built. Does this put our water storage at risk?
Well, yeah, like you mentioned, we're growing, and with growth comes more demand. So every year we're seeing more demand. In fact, this last heat wave we had a couple weeks ago, we pumped more water through the treatment plant than we ever have before. The new tank up on James Howe, like I mentioned, will be good for our emergency supply and our firefighting supply, but it doesn't get us more water. So we have applied for a water storage right with the Oregon Water Resources Department. We have been working through that permit process for going on almost 3 years now, working with Department of Fish and Wildlife, Water Resources Department, and other regulatory agencies. So that's our next steps. More raw water storage.
Yeah, that's one of those huge projects. It's probably like a once in a lifetime capital project that many of us will see, I can imagine, right?
Yep. And the current design is gonna just about quadruple the size of our raw water storage now. So that added capacity should handle our supply needs through the year 2070.
2070. All right, that's awesome. So let's switch gears a little bit and talk about water rates. So Jake, why has the water rate changed recently, and what are the new funds going towards?
So those, yeah, the water rates that have kind of been increasing the last few years that money's being set aside for our new dam. Um, the latest cost estimate that I've seen is roughly $70 million for that dam. And while we're certainly looking at loans, grants, and all funding sources and options, we're going to be liable to pay for some of that. So
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Good. So we're paying for the future, which is awesome. So we've talked about kind of the where our water comes from, some plans for current and future storage of our water. Let's switch gears again and talk about conservation. So my last question is somewhat of an important question, given that we are, just getting into the midst of our hot summer months. Although, as of this taping this week, you wouldn't know that, but I know hot weather is on its way. So, what can residents of Dallas do to conserve water? And do you have any advice that's easy for people to do that can make a big difference in terms of water conservation?
sure. Well, first I'll start by saying that our wintertime average flows are just over 2 million gallons a day. That's doing laundry, taking showers, doing the dishes. So that's kind of the base residential use.
Two
Summertime,
$2 million 2 million gallons a day,
two
right?
million
Okay,
gallons a day. Yep.
gotcha.
And so just this last month, we saw daily demands of up over 5.5 million gallons a day. So
So more than
that's
twice as
more
much.
more than double, and
Yeah.
that's coming from irrigating. So,
Okay.
um, yeah, some of the big things folks can do to conserve would be cut down on irrigation. Experts say that watering your grass, you only need to water 1 inch a week. Planting drought tolerant plants, so you don't need to water them as often, and also making sure your sprinklers are watering what you intend to water, not watering the sidewalk or the street, neighbor's lawn. So
So that's what you can do kind of outside of your home. Are there things like inside of your home you can do with conservation?
yeah, there's certainly taking shorter showers, shutting the water off when you're brushing your teeth, looking at energy efficient appliances
Hmm.
that don't use as much water.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. So just kind of being smart about your water usage.
You betcha.
Yeah. Good. All right, Jake. Well, thanks for sharing and joining us today on the podcast. As we do with all of our podcasts, there's one thing we like to ask all of our guests, and that is, what is your favorite thing about Dallas?
Well, I really like the location, and like we talked about before, although it's growing, I like the small town
Hmm.
feel.
Yeah. Good. That's a pretty common response. So
Yeah,
I think we're right on track with that one. Great. Well, thanks again for sharing with us today, Jake, and joining us on the podcast. And thanks to everyone else out there for listening to the Dallas Oregon podcast. I'm Charlie Mitchell, and we'll see you next time.